Alrighty. Good day, friends. Give me 1 second. Okay, this is working. That's awesome. Music is here. This is unnecessary. I'll close this stuff. How are you guys doing? How's life? Let's make sure that the music is loud enough. Spam TV. Hey, buddy. How are you doing? I'm pretty good, man. I just wasn't sure when I'm gonna stream again, but yeah, my wife and my kid are playing, so I'm just gonna do an hour or two or whatever. Besides that, not much, man. Standard stuff. Work, music, coding. Recorded some second video for this React course I made for YouTube, so I actually uploaded that a couple of minutes ago. Ada, my friend, good day. So this is processing now, the second part. I guess, I don't know when is it gonna process though, let me see. It's still processing. Yeah, so you can see, yeah. This is gonna be live in maybe 3 or 4 hours. I hate Java. Just a programming language, right? So, I mean, you know, I'm sure that every language out there has, you know, goods and bads, as always, right? I've changed probably 10, 15 different languages past 15 years, or at least worked in some, so none of them were ever perfect, right? None of them were ever perfect, were they? Yeah, so we're not going to be doing that music app today. I just... I mean, you know, my videos are all... My videos are very different than the standard tutorials you find online, because I don't prepare them. I don't really do these... what is it called? I don't read off of anywhere. I just do it live, basically, right? So be aware of that, right? They're not like perfectly animated and organized and stuff. You know... I just figure out in my head, music is too loud, okay. When I make these videos, right, I just do them on the spot, basically. I just figure out, okay, this is maybe what I want to do, right? So keep in mind, because I don't have the time to sit and do, you know, all of these fancy things, because I don't think they matter, right? Do you suggest going to university for software? I'm hesitant on my choices because I'll be like 6 more years of education, then probably internship to get a job. Well, that depends, right? That depends what it is that you want to do, right? And depends, like, so let me just move this here so I can actually answer this question. Let's just start by chatting today. So basically the question by Spam TV is, do I suggest developers or future developers to go to university? I'm hesitant on my choices because I'll be like 6 more years of education, then probably an internship until I get a job. So that depends, Spam TV, of what type of person you are, right? I mean, technical university was never really a necessity. Many universities have to exist, like medicine and pharmacy. You cannot go and show up somewhere and say I'm a doctor. But when it comes to programming, you know, that was never necessary. I mean, I dropped out at 3rd year of my university, you know, more than a decade ago, and you know, I'm a tech lead, team lead, and I'm doing more than well in my career. So universities, I believe, one of their primary functions is to give guidance to those who are not maybe capable too much on setting this guidance for themselves, right? So you have different types of people. You have people who are incredibly capable of organizing themselves. You have people who can close themselves for 6-month homes and have a lot of discipline and a lot of stuff. Then you have other type of people who are naturally lazy and they can't organize themselves. So they need others to enforce this organization. So if you're the latter, right, then university is good for you. If you're not capable of focusing and stuff like that, right? Then so I mean, university is never a bad thing. I mean, if somebody tells you this, he or she is an idiot, right? So education cannot be a bad thing. but we would have to define what bad means, right? Because of course, if you want to build web pages, you don't have to go to school for 5-6 years, right? If you want to, but again, what you're going to get the most out of technical university, right, is several things. You're going to meet other like-minded friends like yourself. You're going to learn to work with others. You're going to learn how to learn. You're going to learn how to approach things. So there's many things that university education teaches you, which is not just raw knowledge. Because if you just want, I want to learn how to program, you don't need to go to university. But universities give you a lot more. You might live in a dorm with other people. You're going to build social skills, right? So there's various things that educate, when you go to elementary school, when you go to high school, these schools are not, their primary function isn't just, I'm going to learn algebra 1 and 2 and, how to write. It's children need school and education and kindergarten so they can socialize and learn how to live with other people, because fundamentally we are social beings, right? The most core skill in your life is going to be your social skills. Always, in every single job, including programming, how far are you going to progress in your life as a person, as a friend, husband, wife, colleague, is going to be how well you position yourself socially, how easy you are to work with, etc., etc., etc. And you can only develop these skills by being with people, right? That's why I always say, if you remember, when it comes to remote work, I say I would never advise juniors to work remotely, because they are basically being taken out of this social equation. People are taking away from them. You need to, early in your career, you need to be with people. You need to learn how to read people, how to talk to people, etc., 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 right? Programming is the easiest part of the programming job. There's nothing easier in our domain of work than actually programming. But everything around that is hard. Getting around your product manager, your CTO, other team members, getting your ideas out, pushing for your ideas, etc. All of these are social skills. They're not technical skills, right? So to rephrase, education can help you in so many ways. And if you decide to go to university, make sure to understand that you're not going there just because somebody is going to teach you how to write bubble sort and shell sorts and teach you some C++ or some JavaScript. You're going there because of many other reasons, and that is to grow up, to become an adult, to learn how to work with others, right? And it's going to give you some structure, right? When you go to university, you become structurally better. So that is my response. I hope it helps, Spam TV. So if somebody ever tells you that education is useless, they're most likely an absolute idiot. And keep in mind, this comes from a person that didn't finish. I never finished my university. I dropped out, but I should not be used as an example of what's good or bad, because that would be very selfish that I now enforce or change my opinion on universities because I haven't fully went through it. I wish that I did to some degree. I was just already a well-established professional when I was going to university, so I just got an awesome job in Sweden, and I just never went back because my career just took me where I am. But that doesn't mean that I'm gonna tell you, oh, look at me, we're all different, man. And education is good, for sure, no question about that. And people who are going to disagree with that are probably people who actually also never finished it or never went. Look at me, I finished a boot camp. If I could do it, you can do it. That's not the point. You don't need a boot camp or university to learn to program. But as I said, going to university is not just about programming. Zar, I'm sorry, man, I missed your message. I'm very good, man. How are you? I'm very sorry. You can see when I'm answering sometimes these questions, it's kind of, I just miss some of these things. I'm very good, man. How are you? How is life? Nah. Yeah, I actually like it a lot more like this. Sorry, I have to revert this. We did this change before, and you know, well, thank you for coming, man. It's as I always say, and I'm gonna repeat myself. The most beautiful thing about this stream, considering that I'm not streaming regularly, that I'm not a regular streamer, is just seeing some of you guys who are regulars here coming back. That is kind of the most awesome feeling, because, you know, it feels like we know each other for a long time now. So that is super awesome, right? So I would always say, for one of you guys that keep coming back, for each one of you, I would give 1,000 viewers, right? Because a bunch of people are just gonna just pass by for a few times and never come back. And then there's few of you guys, maybe 20, 30 of you, who just always come and say something. So that's awesome. Thank you for that. That's literally why I almost often even feel obligated to stream in a way, because, you know, it's like some sort of respect, right? So thanks for that. My saxophone is going really well, man. If you remember, I made just my other YouTube channel just for my saxophone, because just if you remember, just to kind of keep on track of my progress. So you can actually see, if I go to my videos over here, you will notice that you know, yeah, I keep uploading videos every day. The last video I uploaded yesterday. This is just, I didn't play on the stream yesterday on the video, but as you can see, yeah. It's today is gonna mark first month of my saxophone journey, and every single day I have practiced the past month, and I have uploaded a video. So it's it's just keeping an archive of my progress, right? As I always say, I like to put my money where my mouth is. So yeah, I practice every day. Discipline in life is everything. And life without discipline is nothing. So if you have the discipline, you can learn and become whoever you want. If you don't have the discipline, it's going to be very hard. It's going to be very hard. Literally, one skill that every human needs is just discipline. And you can be whoever you want, easily. You can learn anything today. Rayon Dev, good day, my friend. How are you doing? Literally, build one thing in life, discipline. Try to not be this dopamine junkie where you can't focus on a video longer than 15 seconds, and then you can accomplish anything. Pick one thing and do it every day for 3 months. Do it 1 hour every day for 3 months, and boom, the results are going to be beyond comprehension. It's going to be insane what you're going to achieve. Maybe you can put your learning, which learning platform, Zaire? Which one? You mean the programmer network? Oh shit, I actually keep always forgetting to pin this thing, so people can sign up, I hope. Give me 1 second. So bad at this Twitch thing, man. It's crazy. Oh, yeah, for sure, man. I think I did do that already. I did do that already. I just haven't shared the... Actually, I will finalize that, I promise. I will finalize that for sure. Give me 1 second. I did, I think, put that there already. It is somewhere on... I just didn't push the latest changes, I think. Give me 2 seconds. Where is this music flashcards? I think I've been doing some changes on my own. Yeah. So I've been doing some changes on my own. Let me just push these latest things that I've done. Why do I have Yalk log? Oh yeah, I remember. Of course, man. Yeah, I mean, but you can also do for all of the other... I mean, a lot of the things that I've built, if you remember so far, are very much, you know... But please do, of course, man. I mean, let me just push these latest state changes, and I promise today I'm going to update the README and just make it a little bit easier for you guys to understand what the hell is happening. But that would be amazing, man. That would be amazing. But I'll show you now what the latest stuff. I did this off stream because obviously it's easier. But I kind of made some of the things work. I'll just try to push this, hopefully. So I'll just take you through some of the things very quickly. So basically, I did make it work off stream, right? As you can see, we have the notes here. We have the note kind of display name. We have the ABC note, and we have the frequency, right? So let me actually show you, and then we're back to programming network. So if I go to music flashcards, I open this thing up, and then I start this. I think Rion probably, because very long ago, you probably have a caching issue. So you can see here Zaire, right? If I say practice, right, you can see that, you know, now my microphone is picking up the frequencies of the notes that I'm playing, but you can also see that basically I have a mapping between the ABC notes and my saxophone notes, right? So you can see over here that, yeah, notes are, so you can see this is an F sharp, for example, now, right? This is a G. So, I mean, functionality, more or less, it's almost there, right? I just need to get back to this one more day, and maybe tomorrow I'm going to sit with this and finalize it, right? You can see, but yeah. Shanda, why do you need state management library? Or why do you assume that you need one? Why are you assuming that you need a state machine at the first place? Oh yeah, and I didn't share the repo of this, right? Sounds good, man. Sounds good. Sounds good, dude. All right, so let's see. Hopefully we have cleaned that one up. Yeah, exactly. I need to. I'm just gonna push this to production right away, so it's live. Because yeah, I don't like that. That's the thing. So as I always say, right, try to reverse your thinking when it comes to libraries, right? Instead of asking, let's not call this premature optimization. You could, to some degree, definitely call it premature, right? Well, I'm not using local storage, Rion. So program network is not using local storage. So you need to just clear the storage for the website, right? But just going back to that thing about, so instead of thinking about which libraries you need, think about just not needing any of them. And then if you have a true problem, you should, so you installing libraries should be driven by the complexity of your state that you have, not upfront thinking about it, right? So if you do this, you're gonna build software that's inherently a lot simpler, right? Because if you're asking a question about which library I should use, you should probably not use the library in the first place. This should be your guiding star. So if you're wondering what library you should use, you should probably not be using any. Because that means that you didn't land there by the need. You landed there by just assumption that you need it, right? So make sure that you clear your storage like this, Rion, right? So go to application, storage, and then clear site data. Because you probably have a service worker or whatever. It's been probably many months since you even visited maybe the stream and the website as well. I'm not using local storage for anything, so there's nothing to clear in the local storage. Zoda, good day, buddy. How you doing? Okay, cool. So that's reverted now. When did I stream last time? A couple of days ago, I guess. So what have I done the latest stuff? Give me 1 second. Just getting some coffee here. 1 moment. Okay, I think we've been messing with this, right? Yes. Cool. And then I believe That's gonna be a little bit painful, will it not, Zoda? But that sounds good, man. You're learning something new, so that's awesome, dude. That's always awesome, right? Zyno. Hey, buddy, how you doing? Alright, so I can see a little tiny bug here. What happened with our... let's just go back to our Yale library, right? What happened with this fella over here? This bad boy. See how this thing... No, you're not wasting my time, for sure, Rion. Like... And wait, but what did you say? I got a black header with black text when I'm not signed in. Can you send a screenshot maybe, Rion? Because I really... That shouldn't happen. And you're absolutely not wasting my time. Quite contrary, I'm wasting your time, man. I'm sorry for that. So if you can just smack that, I would be very grateful. Because if there is an issue, like, I cannot have that issue there, right? Marulo, hey buddy, how you doing? Okay, let me just quickly fix our core library, because there's something off with this. Let's go to accordion, and where's this icon? So there's probably something with the positioning. So this is some arrow probably or something, right? Primary text, blah, blah, section, icon, 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 icon. Where are you, icon? Yeah, this one over here, right? Ah, I see. Zoda for sure, man. For sure. For sure, dude. You should embrace every opportunity when somebody gives you a chance to learn something new. No question about that. Just give me one moment here, fellas. I just need to fix this little tiny issue here. Yeah, that's, I guess, not that terrible, is it, right? Maybe. Or maybe it should be at the bottom. I guess it should be maybe at the bottom. Let's try that. So instead of saying here, Yale tops here, let's just say bottom instead. Just to see how that looks like. So if it's on the bottom instead, right? So, nah, that kind of sucks, right? I'm not so sure, to be honest with you. Wait a minute. Let's just revert this for a second. So now it's in the middle, right? Yeah. It's kind of getting overlapped there. And if we kind of do this, right, then potentially it will oftentimes overlap the text, right? Which is kind of... And thank you everybody for your follows. Let me just... wait, I just need to focus on this for 2 seconds. So yeah, so we have instances, I guess, where, yeah, like in these cases where this is now overlapping, right? So the only thing we can really do maybe is, yeah, make sure that the content doesn't basically span all the way full width, right? So we could add a bit more padding, right? So we have Yale 4, Yale LP4 here, right? So what if we say 8 instead? Hey there, man. What's up? Thank you for coming. Please try. I don't remember. I have checked it. Yeah, I'm looking forward for React 19 very much. Yes, that's gonna be a huge thing. It's gonna be a huge thing for sure. I can tell you that. It's React 19 is gonna make React even more popular. React still is by far the most popular URL library, and with React 19, that's gonna amplify even more. It's awesome. Somebody gave us a gift. Thank you very much. You're anonymous user, whoever you are. Oh, okay. So your navigation color didn't change. That's what you're referring to, right? Is that maybe... Huh. Very interesting. Okay, wait. Let's go there. Let's go. Let me check my team builder. Maybe it is a regression of some sort. Let's go to the team builder here. If you guys remember, You can create your own theme in Programmer Network. So let's see, maybe it isn't a regression. Maybe you are right, maybe. So let's save this. Yeah, not really for me, right? Huh, very interesting. Can you try to just create a new theme? Just go to your settings, go to UI settings, and or reset the theme. So just change some color here, and then click reset. And this is open source, I open sourced this, so you can go to Yale right here, and you can see it in the action here under Team Builder, right? So if anybody wants to use it, no, it saves in the database, but you can save it anywhere you want. It's up to you, right? Oh, I see. Shit, man, that's a good point. Okay, wait, let me try to reproduce that. Yeah, that's actually sucks. So you only see that if you're not logged in. Okay, give me 2 seconds. I'm gonna save that. I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna save this, right? Okay. Then I'm gonna go log out. Ah, okay. I see what's happening. I see what's happening. Okay. So basically, all right. And I mean, it makes sense, right? It makes sense. Let me show you what's happening, because this is what I basically want to happen, just not what you are getting. You are in some very strange state, right? Because of course, like every user has its own settings saved in the database, right? So when you log in, you're gonna load your own theme, right? And if you're not logged in, the theme should be the default theme, right? So if I do this, I mean, it should technically already do it. It's just strange that you have that nav bar like that, right? Let me actually open that screenshot again. That's so weird. No, sorry, this is not it. The other one. That's so strange, man. How did you get to this point? I mean, I don't want to reveal your personal data, your PII data on the stream. What I'm gonna do, Rion, once I end the stream today, I'm gonna check in your database. Light mode, but I don't think that I'm supporting any modes. That's not a stupid assumption at all, Spam. Let's actually see that. Let's go to our Tailwind. Do I have some dark mode? I don't think do I have something like dark? Ooh, I do have some dark classes, right? Shit, yeah, but none of them are really in the navbar, are they? I'm still gonna go and nuke all of these dark classes, just for the sake of it, right? Ooh, yeah, maybe it's this, man. You got the issue as well. Ah, shit, man, well, thank you. Thank you for that. That's great. Let's just nuke all of this stuff, man. That for sure is a regression. I mean, you see, that's why I say thank you for reporting that. With this, we need to rewrite, right? Yeah, I can see what's happening here. I mean, we have a bunch of this garbage here, right? There's really no such thing as a dark or white in this project, right? Okay, got it. No, this is amazing, guys. I love you. Thank you so much for that. Thank you. That's great. We're gonna clean that up now, because there's no such thing as dark theme in this project, right? This is just a very old stuff that it seems cleaned up, right? So let's just nuke all of this stuff, right? And then I'll restyle it, right? We're gonna break it now a little bit. Okay, we are in a local now stuff. I can explain how the team builder that I made work, but give me a few minutes. Spam. I just wanna do this. This is an awesome stuff that you guys reported, because it's awesome. So I'll just clean all of this shit up. Sounds great. Sounds awesome, man. So I'll just clean this stuff up. There's a lot of random stuff in here. These dark classes, they're really not doing anything, right? So we're just gonna nuke them all, and then potentially we'll need to go through some of the stuff and fix it up, right? So let's just kind of clean that up. Dark, light, whatever. All right, that's cool. So there's no really... So you can actually see basically here that, yeah, the navbar indeed is not styled properly, right? So we have to do that now, right? So that's awesome. So you were absolutely right when you reported that, basically, right? So what we're gonna do right here, we can see that this fella is not really styled at all, right? So if we get over here and here, what we really want to do here is want to say text primary text color, I guess, right? And then let's see what happens. So right now, I don't think that we even have a kind of background on that navbar anymore, right? So let's go to UI settings. You know, not even that, actually. So if I log out, and can I change the theme to a light one? So let's do this. Does that make any difference anywhere? Footer. So now I'm on a light theme, right? So technically, YouTube, give me 2 seconds. I'm gonna answer that. I just need to. Okay. So I'm gonna go and create a new theme. So I'm gonna say that my primary color is, I don't know, this. My background color is white. Let's leave it like that. Let's see what happens now. Did I actually not save that? I don't think I've saved that. So I'm gonna say, yeah, this is my primary. This is my this. Okay. I mean, I have a Mac here. No, shit, I left my laptop at work. Yeah, we're gonna push this now and see. I don't think it's a Mac thing. I think it's just a team thing. But now, yeah, we'll see now, I guess. Let's push this. I'm gonna deploy this now, Rion, and then you can tell me if it fixed it. And then you can just check it out again. Oh, shit. So we have this stuff. How did you get the chat from different platforms working in there? So let me show you how. In your OBS, you have these docs. So you go custom browser docs, and here you paste multiple chat kind of windows. And then the OBS is going to combine them into a single one. You can also use, I wrote a little tool for that if you wish. I wrote a little tool that's, I think, pretty awesome, but no need for you to use that because you can do what I just showed you. But if you wanted to use a tool, I wrote a library called Chat Fusion. You can take a look at this as well. And this Chat Fusion aggregates many different chats. Oops, actually, I wanted to do that here. This thing also aggregates many different chats into a single thing. Okay, did I push this? No, so yeah, let's do this, commit. Remove. Okay, and let's push this. My pleasure, man. My pleasure. All right, cool. That's great. Cool. So let's hope that this will get fixed when it lands in the production in a minute. I'll just go ahead and reset the theme to the default one. And then Rion, I think this should be live in like a minute if it isn't already. Oh wow, I'm still on an actual white theme. What? Yeah, what the heck? How do I switch back to the black dark one? Okay, like this. Okay. What did I want to do? Yeah, let's go to Cloudflare pages. And just make sure that this is actually deployed. Where's the bloody pages? Custom pages? No, that's not it. Huh, okay, never mind. So let's just go Cloudflare page. We don't have a dark and light mode. So I again, there's no dark and light mode in Programmer Network. There's your own theme, right? So you shouldn't have, so what you have on your operating systems shouldn't affect what you have on Programmer Network, right? So if that's the case, that's the correct behavior. That's the whole point of the theme builder, is that you can create your own theme, right? So your operating system is not dictating now, you know. So if that's the case, that's the correct behavior. Okay, perfect. Great, awesome. Amazing. Thank you so much for reporting that. That's awesome. Follow. Amazing. Beautiful. Great. Super. Okay, great. So going back to this file, I just wanted to fix this a little bit. There was a little padding issue. And actually, you know what? So let's go back to this. What did I do here? So I'm just gonna say maybe, yeah, I mean, that's a little bit too much. Yeah, but I would like a padding to the right? So that's correct. So let's just say here, Yale PL4, Yale P right 8. Yeah, something like that, right? So this kind of little arrow that we have here. And we also probably want to center that somehow, right? So how could we do that? Or maybe it's okay. Maybe it's fine, right? Maybe it's fine where it is. Yeah, I think it's fine. All right, let's just, I don't remember, did I write any tests for this component? I think I did. Let's see if we have to update any snapshots. Yeah, there's the snapshot failing. So if we update the snapshot, that's great. So let's just deploy this as well to npm, right? Just gonna keep on going with these minor versions until this is stable enough to say, okay, now let's do something else. I'm gonna do this. Just gonna discard this. Yeah. Modify horizontal padding on accordion menu. Something like that, right? Yeah. So let's push to master and create a new tag for a new release. I'm going to say 169, and then we're going to push to 169. And by the way, for those of you who are new, you should check out my YouTube. Ah, shit, how do I not have these commands, man? I suck at this thing. Oh yeah, great, okay, awesome. Cool, okay. So that we're going to wait now to end on npm. Actually, no. Rion, thank you very much, buddy. You too. Have a great weekend as well, and thank you for reporting that we fixed something because of you. So, cheers to that, man. Have a lovely day as well. Okay, so that is. Let's close this. Hopefully, we're not gonna need that today in this stream anymore. Let's nuke that. Let's nuke that as well, and then we're gonna pretty much prepare this to be installed. And let me actually go to npm. Let me go to my libraries. Where is it? This one, right? Yeah. Yeah, so we're gonna wait for this thing to get published. Beautiful. Cool. Okay. So we're gonna wait for that and then see what we want to do. So let's go to our where is it? PN backlog. Stream goal. What was this? Did we finish this? Clean up course details. Ensure that course dashboard will all course blah blah blah. Accordion styling inside of our core library. Okay, so we could say that this is kind of done, right? Well, let's see about the other two things. What is the uniform data fetching? I'm currently using too many use SVR requests. Yeah, that's still a thing. Let's move that. Yeah, actually. Just checking what I created. I should create a custom React hook that encapsulates this and exposes an error object inside the catch and then does the logic internally. All right, we'll see about that. I need to define that a little bit better. All right, so that's done. Cool. Let's take a look at that again. Okay, so that's better. That's better for sure. That thing now is slightly better. It's not there anymore. That's awesome. Yeah, that's great. Cool. Okay, that's amazing. Then we have that. We have this, right? Yes. So we go to settings again, courses. I hate these icons. Edit. Section. Okay, cool. Delete, cancel, update. So is there something else here that doesn't work? Is validation still fine? It is. Edit course, update. So maybe these headings are a little bit huge. Draggable list item. Okay, that's weird. Okay. Draggable list item. Okay. So this guy is this, right? Shoots them. Hey there, buddy. Thank you for coming. YouTube tutorial is the second video is already there. It's just processing now. So the first video is already live. It's this one. So I started this course like last week. So this is the first video if you haven't watched it. The second one is being processed now. I recorded it last night. So it's going to be live in around 3 hours. Yeah, so this one is processing, as you can see. It says around 100 minutes left, right? So let's say 2-3 hours, right? So yeah, but I scheduled it to be published at 5 p.m. So maybe I can say 4 p.m. instead, a little bit earlier, right? So basically, let's say in around 2 hours from now, right? My pleasure, my pleasure. Shoots them. I'm just just back to programming network. Just fixing up some stuff here. What about yourself, man? What are you up to? Oh, I see. It's an array. Okay. So this should be an array, right? Cool. Okay, so we'll just do that. Cool. Okay, what did I want to do here? Initial state. All right, cool. And then lastly, nice, man. I'm gonna be for the most day with my wife and kid as well. Just decided to stream today a little bit. I found it. Yeah, I just felt like I haven't streamed for 2 or 3 days now again. So yeah, that's my plan as well. To be with my best buddies, my son and my wife. What did I want to do here? Likewise, man. Likewise. I wasn't sure when I'm gonna stream again, but then as always, I just do it by feeling. If it feels like I would like to do it, I just then show up pretty much. Give me 1 second, I'm just checking at the icons that I currently have. What if we say here, icon add instead? And then we go back here. Select sections or lectures to edit, or click to create new ones. Yeah, that's not too bad, right? Width 16. Yeah, that's not terrible, right? I do not, no. I mean, I barely have time for. I mean, programming network is a very large scale project, right? It's a very complex project, right? So that's probably going to be. And I have my ex-colleague Saminta. We're probably going to do some commercial project together, but I'm not going to stream that. That's going to be ship fast, fail fast, right? But this type of project where I don't really care about how long it takes, no. There can only be one. If there's two, you will never get anywhere, right? I mean, you will rarely get anywhere even if there's one, if you have family and kid and full-time job and stuff, right? Love your YouTube. Obi-Man, thank you very much, man. Thank you very much, man. Good to hear. So no, you can only, projects of this scale, you can only build one thing, right? You can try to build more, but you will fail. Commercial application idea is building a certain tool for marketers, for marketing. For consultants who are building basically, who are doing consulting work and need to show private or public timelines of their progress. So where they are right now. That's a simple explanation, basically. The friend of mine, Saminta, she's a professional marketer. She's not a developer, right? So, so it's her idea. Idea is meaningless without execution, always has been, right? Do you have some side projects that you finished? Not really. I mean, I don't. Depending what you mean by finished, right? Because side project, when you start a side project, you have to have a reason why you do it, right? If you're doing project for the sake of fun, you don't have to finish it ever. You're not doing it to sell it to, right? Although, I mean, I don't put projects in portfolio. I have 17 years of experience. I have a lot of references. I have a lot of people to vouch for me, right? I don't need projects like that. I worked in top-notch startups in Denmark, right? So that's my portfolio, right? I don't need to have an app, right, to show. I've built real products for a decade and a half now, right? So that's my portfolio, right? There's no better portfolio than an actual experience in known companies, right? There you go, exactly. I mean, nothing beats the... Oh, wow, this theme actually looks really nice. What the fuck did I do? I just changed the background, right? Wow, this white theme looks actually pretty awesome now. Jesus Christ, man. Okay, so that's great. That's awesome. So let me see now what it is that we have to. So when it comes to courses, this landing page sucks. I mean, I have almost 200 repositories on my GitHub, right? So of course that I have things that I could show if I needed to, right? That's not the point. I have, what, 155 repositories, right? I have a bunch of open source libraries that I wrote. Some of them I wrote 5, some of them 10 years ago, right? So I have a lot of, I mean, the easiest way you can go to my, GitHub or whatever, or, right? So that's not the point. I'm just saying when you are a senior, a tech lead, a CTO, team lead, nobody's asking you to show your GitHub portfolio. That's not how you hire people like me anymore, right? That's how you hire juniors, right? You're not hiring a person like me by checking if I built a to-do app, right? It doesn't work. I'm a very expensive professional, right? You don't hire me by asking me, did you build a stencil or Svelte application, right? That's not what I deal with at work, right? I lead teams, I don't write React components at work, right? So you don't hire a tech lead, a team lead, a CTO by showing to-do apps, right? That's what you ask a junior, because junior cannot have the experience that you can ask for, right? So when I'm being hired, I barely talk about code. I talk about people, leading the team's experience, approach, etc., right? If you haven't learned how to write a component in 15 years of experience, then you know, it's not good. It's not good, right? Okay, cool. So let's see what do I want to do. I mean, so we are in a process of just, cleaning stuff up and making things awesome. This doesn't look bad at all. It almost looks kind of ready to be used. Something that I wouldn't be ashamed to show. Give me 1 second. Exactly. All right, so this is okay, let's make sure that this mobile experience is awesome as well. Let's make sure that we didn't, it seems that we did kind of mess something up. Yeah, maybe. Let's just switch the, okay, so there is a little bit of an offset. So it's kind of almost good, right? Okay, so this item essentially is a string, right? Is a number, right? So that's great. It's just, let's make sure. I'll also check this later on my phone, of course. But I think we're actually good. Let's take a look at that. Let's switch. Ah, okay. So basically, very strange. Okay, give me a second. Oh yeah, okay. I see. Cool. So I think, so it's most likely that on this fellow over here in this section, give me 2 seconds. Yeah, for sure. I mean, of course I still program and stuff. I mean, I'm part of it. Definitely. That it's not. I'm not saying that I'm only in the meetings or whatever. Of course, but it's no longer the focus, right? It's no longer the focus of my work is helping my product manager and making sure that everybody knows what they're doing. If somebody is stuck, that they're no longer stuck and stuff like that, right? But you're absolutely right. Of course, definitely. Let me just double check this because yeah, exactly. Shit. So what if I say break words overflow hidden? Break words overflow hidden. Give me 2 seconds. Break words. I need to check that in Louis GUI. Exactly. Interesting. Okay. So I assume where were we? Over here, right? Break words. Yeah, that kind of sucks, right? I don't want to use break all because break all kind of sucks, right? That's the problem. Kind of breaks the words at any place, right? So why is my give me 1 second. Let's use ChatGPT. Let's use my Jean-Code Van debug. I'd like to avoid using break all utility class in Tailwind CSS because it breaks text in a weird way whatsoever. I need to make sure that still breaks the text properly, so my width is not messed up by super long words. How do I do that? The project is not open source. No, I found a bug on the main page when the infinite scroll doesn't have any results. But what do you mean? Where are you not having any results? Here? No, Zaire, we don't need that anymore. No. So it's no longer necessary, actually. You will see in the repository, I just managed to find a way. Scroll all the way down, okay? It's gonna take a while, I guess, to scroll all the way down, but let's do it. It's not that bad, I guess. Keep on scrolling, keep on scrolling. Oh, so when you get to an end, it explodes. Is this what you're saying? So if I get to the end, it's gonna explode, right? I see. Yeah, we can fix that. But let's actually finish what I was doing first, and then we do that, I promise. Yeah, we do that in a moment. I mean, the fact that you scrolled all the way down, that's impressive. Absolutely impressive. That's amazing, man. I thought that nobody ever in history is going to do that. I hope that you didn't read every single of these posts. I see. Yeah, well, the footer is not meant kind of to be visible there. Like you can just go to any other page and see the footer, right? Like in the other pages. But I hear you. I hear you. I hear you. Okay, we'll get into this in a moment. Zaire, that would be amazing, man. Do whatever you wish for. Seriously, man, you have free hands. Just smack a PR and then we can discuss it together and stuff. Even jump on a call if you want. Like, absolutely, man. That would be fantastic. That would be crazy. Okay, what did this guy say? I see. Okay, so let's go back here. This is what we've been trying to fix, right? Course details. Break words. Yeah, but that makes no sense, man. What the ChatGPT now is saying. Wait. That would be amazing, man. That would be fantastic. Let's argue a little bit with the ChatGPT. White space, no wrap. Exactly. I know that there's a few of these combinations of these utilities, right, that can achieve this. I just don't remember. I have it somewhat in my memory. Yeah, exactly. So something like this. No wrap, right? And then also, yeah, exactly, right? So let's try that instead. So we do this, and now it's going to use the ellipsis thing, right? Which is a little bit... It's going to be a little bit weird, but let's see what the outcome of that is. Give me 2 seconds. Overflow hidden. Should we just smack it over here, maybe? Yeah. The website is down when user is null. I'm not sure what you mean the website is down. Can you... what do you mean it's down? How is it down? I don't get it. Can you just explain a little bit more, please? Yeah, user should be null, yeah. Yeah, you have to clear your cache. You maybe visited this site very long ago. You have a super old cached version. Yep. For sure, 100%. Alright, so not to waste too much time on this, we will do an ugly hack just to fix this. Give me 1 second. It's custom. I implemented authentication. I'm just using the GitHub API, Twitch API, Twitch or Auth API and stuff like that. So I'm not using Auth0 or Propel Auth or any of these authentication providers. These things get very expensive very quickly. Yeah, fuck, that sucks. Let's just make sure that break all is only for mobile. And here we're going to say MD and up break words. Yeah, but what? That really depends on the demographics where you live, right? As I said before many times, right? Some languages are more popular in some areas than others, right? Java, I know that Java is popular in India still a lot. I think in India, Pakistan, I think they teach Java still at universities. So it depends demographically where you live. Would I use Java to build an API? Of course not. Not because I think that Java is a bad language. I don't think that. Nor I have competence to say such thing, because I haven't really built an enterprise-grade application in Java or maintained it for a couple of years to gain that expertise. But it would be silly to build, if you need a front-end facing API, Node.js is your go. If you need a high-performant API, Go is the way to go, right? And it's always a trade-off between convenience and performance, right? In 99% of people don't really need performance, right? None of you here on this chat have ever built really anything that remotely needs to scale, let alone that scales to billions of users, right? So, so if you need an API that serves some frontend and it has normal load, Node.js Go is definitely the way to go. That's what I would do at least, right? And when I say Node, you can use Bun.js, right? You can use the Bun as a runtime. You can use Dino. You can use Node. you can use whatever you want, but the convenience of JavaScript that you get is unbeatable, right? Because you can write isomorphic code, you can write the code that runs the same type of code that runs in both front end and back end, right? And you also have these garbage things like Next.js and shit like that, right? That also, if you're a beginner and if you want something that you can just combine by some tutorial, combine few components together, then there's also that, right? It's what do you mean? What do you mean it's more performant? Performant for what? Performance for what? What is your load right now? What is your load to talk about performance, right? Because when you say it's more performant, what do you mean it's more performant, right? Can you be more precise? That makes zero sense. What do you mean for backend API serving? That literally makes zero sense. How many users do you have now? What is your load right now? What is your load on that API service that you're talking about? I mean, a lot of you are talking about performance. When I say none of you have faced it, I'm not literal. I'm not being absolute, but that statement is true if some maybe did, but 99% didn't, right? It's just many of you use word performance, but when I ask you to showcase me these performance things, none of you can actually answer, right? Dude, I'm not talking about Netflix. I'm not talking about others. I'm talking about you. What Netflix is doing is irrelevant, right? So I'm not talking about Netflix. Why are you talking about Netflix, man? Netflix is one out of 30 companies on the planet when it comes to load, right? So I'm talking about you. What are you talking about? Why does Netflix matter? You're not building Netflix yourself. I'm asking you, what type of performance are you facing? Not what Netflix is facing, right? Who the fuck cares what Netflix does, man? I'm asking you. You are saying X is faster than Y, and I'm asking you, where did you face that? Not the company that has 200 million users, right? So these statements are absolutely ridiculous. I'm not sure who is brainwashing you people, seriously. I mean, many of you are getting so fucking brainwashed by these influencers, it's ridiculous. Java is this, Rust is this. Have any of you fucking built, right, anything that has any remote load? Have you built a website that has 10 users? Not fucking 200 million users, man. I cannot literally, like, this bullshit is getting so out of hand. It's ridiculous, man. I have people coming to the stream talking about some performance, and then I ask them, what performance? Netflix. I'm asking you, what performance issues are you dealing with, man? Not Netflix or Microsoft or GCP or AWS, right? It's ridiculous, man. Like, taking a hyper successful company and applying it top down onto everything else. Fucking PayPal is running on nodejs, right? I mean, it's ridiculous, these statements. And it's all due to these influencers, right? But I don't think that has to do anything with Node.js or an API fast chat. I mean, I'm sure you're very experienced, as you claimed. I don't think that has anything to do with your API, man. Way before your API hits the bottleneck, it's going to be your database. It's going to be various other things than your API, man. Yeah, but this can respond to 50,000 requests per second, right? 50,000 requests per second isn't even that much, man. You can handle that with Node.js with a calculator if you want. You can cluster your Node.js application, you can use Go, you can use whatever you want, right? That's not the point, right? So your bottleneck is not going to come from Node.js. Freaking Express.js, which hasn't been updated in years, can handle 30, 40,000 requests per second, right? So these are just statements which are inherently inaccurate, right? Exactly. I mean, but exactly that's my point, HNL. You're absolutely right. So again, there's so much this influencer bullshit, man, on this platform, on this Twitch thing, man. It's ridiculous, man. It's absolutely ridiculous. Like, it's just, give me 1 second. But yeah, that's what it is. There are various other performance bottlenecks you're going to hit way before you hit your bottleneck of your API, right? And I'm sorry for getting a little bit triggered. It's just, I've been streaming on this platform for a year, and I'm still waiting for somebody to support their claims with facts and not by theory, right? All right. I think you're saying things which are inherently false. I'm sorry, man. You're saying things which are absolutely incorrect. Absolutely incorrect. And of course, I mean, look, nobody disagrees with you that if you want performance, if you want to squeeze the best out of it, of course you should use Go. Nobody discusses that. Even if Node.js can do that, of course you want to. No, but this is not a matter of X versus Y, what's better or worse, right? This is just a matter here of factually proving the points, not theoretically assuming things, right? So that's my point. If I needed to build a pub subservice like on GCP or RabbitMQ, of course I would use something sooner like Go than Node.js. But that's not what we're discussing here, right? That's just my point, right? I think we are actually performance, man. Like, so many people use this word performance, and then you, like, majority never build anything that remotely resembles an working application, let alone serving millions of users, right? Spam TV, you're back. So that's working, I guess. Wait a minute. Nice, man. Congrats. That's awesome. Okay, so this one is also not linked. Shit. So wait a minute. So if I go to, where is this course? Courses, I guess. Course, right? Author. Is there some author here or whatever? Where is this stuff? I play a guitar my whole life, yes. I have many guitars here. There's many guitars in this room, yeah. I actually did play a few times on the stream as well. I played a few times on the stream as well. I play a saxophone as well, yeah. Course landing page, is it this one? Yeah. Yeah, we need to, what's up with these types, man? How did I leave this like this? Section. So I guess this should be like courses I section something, right? Yeah. I mean, I've been a musician my whole life. I mean, I've been programming for many years, right? But I've been playing guitar since I was very young. Just I did play in bands and stuff, but I mean, I started working full time I started as a Cisco engineer in 2007 or 8. I worked as a Cisco engineer. I was programming these Cisco switches and routers and stuff. Then I went to a CCNA and CCP Academy at Cisco. Give me 1 second. Give me just 2 seconds. I don't remember the types for this. What was it? Maybe author? Shit. I mean, let's just use this for now, but I'm sure that I do have a type for this, right? Give me 1 second, fellas. User state. Shit. User profile, maybe. Nah, that's too much. What if I say... Never mind, okay. For sure, H&L. I mean, the products are built, right? I've been part and directly influenced the success of 3 or 4 startups past 15 years, right? These are gradual and incremental changes, right? You don't scale to billion users when you don't know first 3 weeks if your business is going to fail 2 weeks later, right? So I've never yet heard a use case, a user story, whatever, or company that failed due to this, especially today with auto balancing on GCP, AWS, Azure, and various other things, right? So these are just little stories for nerds to discuss, right? There's really no reality in these stories, right? Because nobody really is dealing with these issues. Companies today are not waking up and thinking, oh man, are we going to be able to scale our APIs? Like literally no business owner, CTO is worried about that. Like nobody. An average CTO is worried about getting more clients, surviving in an oversaturated market of products. Nobody is like, man, oh shit, man. Like what if we have an influx of 10 billion users next month, right? Like this is just sweaty nerds. Like this is so you have this Vim guy and a few of these influencers who are just brainwashing the whole generation of developers into this crap, right? But fundamentally, nobody goes to work and thinks, oh, will my React scale? Will my JavaScript scale in the browser, right? Like nobody, man. Literally, you have second most used JavaScript library is still jQuery. Second. First one is React. Second is jQuery, right? So it's like these are just sweaty stories for influencers. Right? That's all. And then for 17 years old kids who are just in high school who get horny when they see a green terminal, right? And somebody not using a mouse, right? So that's what this community is, pretty much. Sums it up, right? Then you have, oh, he's not using his mouse. He must be a great programmer. Jesus fucking Christ, man. Yeah, that sums it up pretty much. That's what it is. Are you not using a mouse, bro? Say it again. Say it again. Say it out loud. I'm not using a mouse. Oh, fuck. Interesting. If I stop using the mouse, I'm actually start getting some viewers on my Twitch. But since, look at this combination, streaming from Windows plus using the mouse. Plus writing JavaScript. Are you even a programmer, bro? Using a mouse on a Windows with JavaScript. A JavaScript clicker. I'm gonna rename my stream from Programming Network to JavaScript clicker. You go to like Programming Network / you go to Twitch TV / JavaScript Windows clicker. Fuck, man, if I could do that. Can you like change Twitch username? Is that possible? Okay, this is very tempting now. Alright, I need to consider that. I need to change the whole branding. Okay, so let's just push some of this crap. Once every 4 days. I see. Okay, cool. That would be actually pretty awesome. All right. Okay, that's good. That's great. Cleanup. Yeah, I mean, I just need to, let me just, so. Mo LM, are you still there on YouTube, man? Sorry, I just saw your question. I'm not sure if you're already gone. If you're still there, man, I'm happy to answer that now. Interesting. Okay, did we find a little regression here? Yeah, this is most likely that I can't leave a comment on my own course, right? Imagine you just okay, cannot rate your own course. Okay, that's beautiful. Let's fix that. And then we could actually have to write a little abstraction, add review, I think, right? Leave a review. Leave a review. Yeah, exactly. Okay, great. So when we click on that thing, so why do you think that Next.js and others? Well, okay, so that was a little bit an overstatement. I'm being too much of a nerd here. So I wouldn't say it's the garbage, right? It's mostly, so the reason why these things like Next.js and stuff are popular is not because there's a common sense behind it. It's not because these things are needed. It's because the entry level for these tools is very, let me show you one thing. Let me show you why I think that's a very bad idea, right? So let me show you how internet worked, right? So just so you can kind of understand that, maybe. And why I'm not pro this, right? Look at this. Maybe 20 years ago, right? We had very monolithic applications. It's not to say that monolith apps are bad and that microservices or anything like that. I'm not talking about microservices, so let's be careful here. So around 20 years ago, right? We had a lot of things, like a little bit even longer. We had Visual Basic. We have a lot of .NET. We had PHP, which still is very popular. Then you had like WordPress, which is still very popular, Joomla, and a bunch of these things. And all of these were monolithic apps, right? They were basically server-side rendering, right? They were SSR, right? And then a lot of smart people realized, like, man, it would be cool if we just build these decoupled applications, right? We're coupling too many things, and it's expensive to host, it's expensive to serve these things. And then we started moving away from that. We said, hey, separation of concerns, right? Let's build the front ends and back ends separately, right? So let's have a client, it runs for free in the browser. Right? And then let's have the APIs, just plain APIs, right? This guy sends some request, and this guy's like, hey, let me talk to databases, services, do some business logic, and I'll get back to you, client, right? So this is what we did for 2 decades, right? We moved away from this, right? Because of various of these reasons. It's more expensive to compile, if I may, all of this HTML payload, and then you have these hydrations and all of this abstraction, this complexity, this craziness, because but I would still like this, single page app behavior in the front end. Okay, well, we're gonna partially deliver this, right? And in some cases, this does make sense today, that we kind of have a mixture of server side and client side. In some very rare occasions, this is in fact helpful, right? But the problem with Next.js and all of these abstractions today is that a lot of these younger developers, less experienced developers, they don't use it for the reason because they need it. They use it because they heard about it on YouTube, and because you don't really need to know anything. You don't need to know anything about infrastructure. It's a complete and utter abstraction. Like, you deploy it with one click, you do this with one click. So it's basically almost like a website builder. It's almost one step to not writing code at all. So I wouldn't be surprised if this crap just at one point becomes drag and drop, right? Because it's almost there. So the reason why I'm not saying this is garbage. I'm sure that Next.js can serve several different use cases when you really need, right, SEO or whatever. It's not to say that you can't do this differently, right? But we were going away from this way of building, right? Right? So again, this is not to say you should or you should not use it. Quite the contrary. My point is always the contrary of that. You should use things when you need them. React.js is a beautiful library. Vue.js, Angular, jQuery. And in 99.9% of circumstances, that's what you want to use, because that's what you need. You need a simple UI thing in your front end with some dynamic behavior. When I click here, do this, right? This thing now, this crap is huge, abstracted, hacked version of a lot of different things. And in most cases, you actually don't need this, right? But of course, convenience, programming past maybe decade became very mainstream, very hipster, and convenience was so some sort of logical, factual engineering approach has been replaced by convenience. Next.js is not a great technology. It's a convenient technology, which then you can say, well, Alex, doesn't that translate to great? Well, it does, depending who you ask, right? If you ask a business owner, if you ask a very inexperienced developer, of course. I mean, you can, with very limited knowledge, literally of anything, even JavaScript, you can have zero knowledge almost, you can install this crap, follow some tutorial, assemble few things, literally in a XYZ way, import this, do this, right? So this is why these abstractions win so much, not because that they're great or good quality, it's because they're so convenient, their entry level is so easy. It's the same reason why nobody writes assembly, because who the fuck wants to write that type of thing, right? It's like, what is that? What am I looking at, right? What is this gibberish? I don't want to be talking machine code. I want to be talking almost like natural human language, right? So that is why I say it's garbage, because these types of tools are now overtaking the whole community, right? Not because they're necessarily people use them when they need them, it's because everybody can do it, right? You can now go to a bootcamp for 2 months and you're suddenly writing Next.js, right? You have no fucking idea about anything, right? And again, you might seem, I might seem that I'm saying that's necessarily bad. Not really, it's not bad, but it's also depending who you ask, right? It's great, it's amazing in one way, and it's horrible in another way, right? Because a lot of people are like just jumping on this crap now because YouTubers are doing it, right? Exactly, be a programmer for sure, right? And this is the thing, right? I mean, for example, like maybe 10 years ago, I worked at the bootcamp, right? I worked as a technical expert for 5 years. I remember even back then, my students had to learn JavaScript, literally. Like before they would start using these frameworks, at least they had to learn basics, prototypal inheritance, variable hoisting, basic things, right? Today, we have moved away even from that. Today, an average person starts with all of these abstractions, right? And I don't think that's good. It is good to some degree if such person at one point is gonna say, okay, let me walk backwards now. Let me go back and understand how this works. But that's not the case, right? You know, you're just poking some shit until it works, and then you move to some other abstraction and you poke it again until it works, right? But then this doesn't create a well-established programmer long term, right? Because this guy now thinks he's on top of the world. Oh, look at me, I'm building full stack apps and I can deploy them to the internet. But you're actually not doing any of that yourself. This tool is doing that for you, which again, depending who you ask, is right. But anyway, the point here was Mo Allen on YouTube, he asked about Next.js, and I think using simple libraries for most problems is sufficient. Using any of these UI libraries is sufficient. These abstractions take things to an entirely different place, and the reason why React team is pushing for this is not because of the reasons that you think. They're pushing for Next.js mainly because of marketing, right? So that is really the thing. So we are now making a full cycle of we're walking backwards now as a community, right? So we're kind of shifting back, right? As I said, a decade or two ago, we were monolith. Then we moved away from it. We were all about separation of concerns, right? We were all about, and I'm not going to talk about microservices. That's not the point here. That's a different discussion. But now we're going back to this, right? Now we are making a circle back into the hell where we were before, right? We're going back here again. So we're going back where WordPress is going to be again a new example of good, right? Which is, again, depending who you ask, a good thing or a bad thing, right? I mean, the thing is, okay, let me just switch to this chatting screen, right? Give me 1 second. So this is not about, look, this is, Mimus, that's not what I'm saying. It's quite the contrary. If people who've been watching my stream, they know me well enough. What is better is your job, literally your job. We cannot have these discussions in such a way. I genuinely get irritated. We cannot be so, this discussion cannot be led on such a primitive thing. There's no such thing as, I know, don't take me wrong. Don't take me wrong. But you get what I mean, is like, it's about us individually with experience to decide what is better. Nothing is absolutely better over the other in every context. That it's the same with this person who asked recently on my stream, what is better, MongoDB or Postgres? That question cannot be asked from such question cannot come from an engineer, somebody who calls themselves a software engineer. Such questions cannot exist. We cannot be asking things, is a hammer or a drill better? Should I use a hammer or a drill? Should I use, a cup or a bicycle, right? These types of questions come exactly from this very mainstream influencer-driven programming, right? This is better. Like, this hasn't been like this always, right? So this is the problem. So, right? I mean, bootcamps are a little bit different thing, right? Bootcamp as an entity has a different function, right? So bootcamp, and this is maybe why people underestimate bootcamps, right? The function of a bootcamp isn't to make the expert programmer. Function of a bootcamp is to enable a person to get a job very quickly, right? And it attempts to do that by avoiding as many details as possible and focusing on something tangible that such person can build, right? And this is, to be very honest with you, which is quite impressive in a way, right, is actually true, right? So people think that a bootcamp that lasts for 3 or 6 months is going to make you an expert. That's impossible. It takes years, 10, sometimes 5, 10, 20 years to become a master of things, right? So function of a bootcamp is to make you, give you some tangible thing as quickly as possible. So, hey, after 3 months, I can build a static website in Next.js and I can call some API and put some things on the screen, right? But what I was saying, yes. So it's more about just, having these discussions a little bit more on an engineering end than on influencer end, right? What is better? What is worse? These types of things are impossible to ask in programming because what is better depends on so many other questions you have to ask, right? What am I doing? What problem am I solving? What is my data model? What is this? What is that, right? I mean, I would say that the microservices, I would say that microservices indeed are a very misunderstood concept, but it's also a concept that is also very subjective in a way, right? Like oftentimes, for example, microservices are very useful for the one core reason, ownership, right? So for example, in my experience, microservices for me were the most useful in the context of ownership. Let me give you an example. Like when you, let's take your example there. Let's imagine that you have a company. And let's imagine that company you have some DevOps guy, some data science team, you have a front-end team, whatever, right? So bear with me here. And you have a single API. Now, every single time you have a front-end facing API, let's say, almost like a gateway for now. You're very small, right? And then your data science team tells you, hey, talk to BigQuery or Snowflake or whatever. And then you start interfacing from the front-end facing API, which is a very natural thing you would do, to these data warehouses, right? And at one point, you're big enough. Now you have a bigger team, you have more funds, you raised funding, your company can afford to hire more people. Now it makes sense that your data science team handles all of this stuff about big data, right? So now you're like, okay, what about you guys? having your own little API in, let's say, Python, because that's probably what you write best. And, instead of me having all of these BigQuery queries, you sending these queries to me pasting them there, we gonna, our DevOps guy, John Doe, is gonna set up this little, GCP, Cloud Run API service for you, and then we're gonna figure out some Circle CI or whatever, right? So now at this point, that microservice, its main function isn't to say architecture or infrastructure. It's more like now that these guys don't have to write, I don't know, TypeScript or JavaScript or Go. So it's an ownership thing. So for me, microservices, for a huge portion of time, when you scale your company, have more to do with how can we give these guys their own little thing that now our front-end facing API can call, or anyone else, right? So this is, for example, where microservices for me are the most useful. It's not about theory. It's not about, oh, this guy calls this. This really isn't solving anything. Because if you're wondering, as I always said before, if you're wondering, do you need microservices, you probably don't. Because like with everything else, you need to bring yourself to the point of, why should I separate this piece of code into a different, not even into a different service, into a different repository? Like, why should this piece of code be even in a different repository? Then you have to be able to answer these questions. Well, ownership is one. We want our data science team to write the language that they want and give other teams the data that they need without these guys needing to read queries and shit like that, right? So when it comes to microservices, for me, it's about the natural need arising, right? Versus you just prematurely like, yeah, let's just start this new company that has 0 users. Let's break everything into microservices. Why, right? What is the function of that? I mean, Stack Overflow, right? I don't know if you read their case. Stack Overflow is a monolithic app, right? They're not literally running microservices, right? For sure, HNL, absolutely, man. I think what has happened to programming community past decade is that all of us have become a victim of influencers, either direct influencers or indirectly being influenced. I can see a lot of companies integrating, Kubernetes and a lot of these things, not because it arises by need, but by simply because it's a cool thing. Everybody else is doing it, right? We should as well. My personal advice to everybody is like, if you get obsessed by simplicity, if you try to inherently keep things simple, that's just how I think. I think if you're ever wondering, do I need X? You don't need it, probably. This can be related to microservices, to a state machine or whatever. Whenever people come and say, do I need this? You don't. Because if you needed it, you would probably naturally come to that conclusion and you would implement it, right? So if I'm starting a product, start a monolith as the... And again, keep in mind, seriously, like super important thing. For instance, let me show you. Like, for example, you can still build your monolith API in a very microservice way. So in simple words, when I say start with a monolith, that doesn't mean that you should just couple everything. You can still build your API in a very decoupled way. You can still build API where eventually you can say, okay, we want this users table and API to be a microservice. You should literally be able to take that and put it somewhere else. If we're talking about the same technology. For example, Fastify is great if we're talking about Node.js. The reason why Fastify is great with that is because it's using plugin system, right? So basically you can basically build every single of your resources as a plugin itself with its own context and stuff. So eventually, if you want to turn that, let's say, into a microservice of some kind, you can literally move that piece of code there. It's going to work, right? As long as you have the same boilerplate in other places. So you can still build your monolith in a way where it's easy to, right? Exactly, Mendes. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah. Yeah. But nice chat. That's how it is. That's at least how I think she should be. Oh, nice. More people are actually signing up. That's pretty cool. I like that. Tatiana is here. Well, she was here, I think. Yeah, Kevin, there. Oh, wow, nice. I have 3 more people sign up today. That's awesome. Thanks, guys. But yeah, what I wanted to say, yeah, I mean, when it comes to these UI libraries, man, just start with a simple library. Just start with a simple library, and then, you know, maybe you're going to need Next.js one day or something like that. Maybe you will not, who knows. But rather add it when you need it than prematurely add it when you don't need it, right? Because the cost, people underestimate the cost of additional tools. Because for every additional library, for every additional tool, you have more people you need people who need to learn more things, to maintain more things, to update more dependencies, right, etc., etc., etc. So if you look at Programmer Network project, man, these are literally the old dependencies I have for the whole social platform. And I can probably, and most of these are actually mine, right, the libraries that I wrote, right? So this should always be something you strive for. Actually, I don't even know, maybe we can remove some of these. Do we really need all of this? Yes, we are. So keeping these things super simple when possible is just, let me actually see if I can, do I really need the data? I think, give me 1 second. Actually, yeah, we're still using this, okay. Programmer network, AJV. It's a bit weird that we need AJV still. Do I really? Ah, okay, we're using the types. So basically, yeah, we're using it only for the wall. Okay. Whew, okay, let's recalibrate. So, okay, so where the hell was I? Okay, so yeah, I was fixing some things. What is this? Ah, it's over here. I see. Data article. Okay, so what I'm actually going to do, I'm going to do a little transformation in here. So what I'm actually going to do over here, and we need to find a more centralized place. It's a little bit annoying, I must admit. But what I'm actually going to do here, I'm going to spread the existing article, I guess. What? Data article. Object minute. What the heck? Ah, I see what's happening. Yeah, sure, no problem. So what we're gonna do basically is we're gonna do something like this. I basically need to we need to format these things, right? So what I'm gonna say here, I'm gonna say created at, right? And I'm gonna say date utils dot created a go, right? And I'm gonna say article dot created at. Followage. I'm the most untypical streamer that you can have. I don't even know what these things. You guys notice I don't have these Twitch commands or stuff like that. Sorry for that. I don't. I'm not streaming regularly, so it's. I never learned these. Okay, so that's cool. Do we have any? Are you using a package for? Yeah. So I have a little. So yeah, you can actually take a look at it here. This I built this UI library myself, so you can actually find it here. But yes, I'm using the. But if you see, if we go here to SRC components and avatar, you will notice here that I'm using the boring avatars, right? It's called boring avatars. But then, so it's either the avatar that you guys upload when you sign up. If you don't have one, boring avatar is basically it generates basically a vector. An SVG basically, right? My pleasure. So it's this one. It's actually pretty cool. So instead of having default like PNGs or SVGs, this takes the string, the name as an argument, as a prop, and then it generates it generates the color based on your name and the shape. Actually, as you can see, it has different types of. I think they had a yeah. Oh yeah, they literally have a website. So you can see here you have these like. They have different kind of shapes. Actually, this is pretty cool. I think I'm using the default one, which is this. And yeah, they can be squared. What is this? Oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah, that's pretty creative. If it was AI generated, programmer network would instantly have a million more users for sure, because that value is right, Leo. Just smack ML and AI next to something, instantly sells, right? Okay, so let me just go through things. Yeah, this view requires a lot of love. This really sucks. Okay, let's go to these thoughts, right? When the smoke is going down. Shit. Ah, all right. I think it's under. Ah, there's some Dream Theater is playing. Nice. But you guys are too sissy for that, so let's find something else. Just register. Thanks, man. Thank you. It's a hopefully one day we can build a nice community there. Who knows? Who the hell knows, right? It would be cool. I'm gonna keep coming and doing this whenever I have the time, and then we see what happens. I guess this, yeah. Let's just what? Oops. Ah, I see. Weird. Okay. Tab options. Ah, I see. So this basically is a string. Ah, yeah, I get it. I mean, that would be, if that's true, that's great. That's great. Okay, that's cool. Okay. So what did I want to do? Yeah, I'm not very happy with this. Profile thoughts. Okay, so let's just improve that a little bit there, right? So this is underwhelming to say at least, right? Okay, let me just think for a moment here. Thought contents. I see, okay. Okay, I'm gonna just nuke this for a second. Okay, cool. Did I extend this bad boy with a class name or whatever? Yeah, I did. Okay, that's cool. Okay, cool. So we're gonna do something with this instead. Can we play your saxophone song on the stream? Yeah, we could do that, sure. And hi, everybody. Thank you for coming. Okay, so cool. So here, what we're gonna do, let's just, I'm just now kind of going and trying to figure out certain things we can improve, right? So we're gonna actually do here, bear with me. So I'm gonna just comment this out for a second, just so we're on plain slate here. And over here, I'm gonna say, hey, you know what? I want a border text color /20, whatever. Yeah, sure. That's a little bit weird. Okay. So that's almost cool, right? Except, what is this outer thing? That's a bit weird, isn't it? And this thing, okay, I see. So if we say flex, right? Ah, okay, no, never mind. So this is the, oh, I see what's happening. I see what's happening. Okay, got it. Okay. Give me 2 seconds. Yes, okay, sure. So we can comment that one out and this one out, right? Okay, that's good. That's not terrible. All right, sure. And now we can say here like gap 4 or something, right? Just for fun. Yeah, that's good. Huh, so weird. Oh, I see what's happening. So this class name is probably used in 2 different places, which messes things up, right? Yeah, exactly. So it's used basically here, and it's used in the outer one, so that's the problem. This is gonna fix it, but what does it do here? Actually, so it's fine. And here, yeah, that's great. Okay, so cool. So let's go back to profile. Let's go to your own thoughts. And that is suddenly, in my eyes at least, makes it a little bit better. If you ask me at least, thought content, what is this? Reaction type. I think I have some of the types that I export for this. This is reaction types dot reactions. Right? Yes. Shit, what's happening? I think VS Code is farting out a little bit here. Yeah. Reaction style. Just reload the TS server. Reactions types. Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah. All right, great. So good. Okay, awesome. Perfect. Wow. Just reload again. I mean, this is technically correct, that the type that I wrote, right? So let's thank everybody for your follows. I really much appreciate it. Let's just say here option, and then we're gonna say option.tab, and then see what happens here. So weird. But yeah, it is a record, so yeah, a little bit weird. Toxic, thank you very much, man, even for being here, even for just coming and saying hi. I already appreciate that, let alone spending all of your time here. So thanks, man. Appreciate that. And of course, whoever else came. Okay, so that's even, yeah, I mean, that I actually like. I actually like that, to be very frank with you. I like this. It's so simple as the rest of the platform, which is why I'm in love with it. And not because I made it, it's because I just love the simplicity of things. I'm obsessed by it. So cool, man. Nice. Just a simple border. Crap, man. Nice. Yes. I love it. Okay, let's add some hover or something. I don't know. Let's say hover BG, I don't know. Text color /5. Something like this. I don't know. Yeah, why not, right? Yeah, I like that a lot. Man, shit. Ah, so nice. I don't know. I'm exaggerating a little bit, I know, but it's so cool. Yeah, so simple, man. And maybe I know that some people are gonna say, "Well, Alex, where's the created at?" Sure, I agree with you. It's just like sometimes I'm wondering what's the point of having that, right? But I guess some people care, so. This is just faker generated stuff. These are the tags. So don't pay attention to these things. This is just my faker is not generating real tags, because you know, if you go to production, right, you can tag things, right? Like you can press the hash right here. You can press a hash and say JavaScript, whatever, right? And now if you're following the JavaScript tag, right, if you go to /tags /JavaScript and stuff, you can kind of see things, right? We have these, like, it's just I'm not exposing these tags anyway in the platform. Many people don't even know that they exist, but you can go to /tags, which is a very underwhelming page now, and you can then find all the tags, right? So I can go to /react, right? And I have a, so that's the function of tagging things, is that you can then, yeah. All right. And thank you, of course, man. Like any feedback is always amazing. So let's add some created at here, right? Because I can see. So what I will in fact actually do, I will wrap this in a div of some sort. Ah, that's a bummer. Divider. What the hell? Come on. And I think here for the data we should have created at, updated at, and stuff, right? Yeah. I don't know why is it. What? Ah, that's why. Okay. Fair enough, fair enough. Let's go to a normal mode, non-mobile mode. Yeah, we have created that. Beautiful. Okay. Well, really what we have to do is we have to say here, let's just say paragraph from our core library. And then we're going to say thought.created at, just for fun for now. Let's just see how that looks like. Okay, cool. Of course, we need to style that a little bit better. Which means that, yeah, this would have made more sense if it was on the outside, right? Something like this. 1 month ago, whatever, right? Yeah, that's a cool song, but unless we're gonna hold our hands and cry all together here collectively, which I doubt. Give me 1 second. Thank everybody for your follows. That's amazing. That's awesome. That's great. Literally the change I want. I don't think I want to add anything else to this. That's amazing. The only thing that I might add on mobile, let's see, maybe this distance here is a little bit too big, but this is due to the paragraph. So I'm not sure if we can do much there. Is there any padding we're adding? Yeah, it's the padding here that we're adding. So let's say px4 instead. Nah. No, all good. So it's not that. Okay. Yeah, I'm pushing that to production instantly. Such a tiny change and an awesome change. Experience suffers from the same syndrome. So I think we've found that naturally we came. Dude, if you do that, I'm going to make sure that everybody who visits this stream reads that. This is the value that some of you guys are maybe missing. This programming network is not by no means popular in any way. It's far from that. But it could become, and your content could be easily seen, because I do stream and I do record YouTube videos. So if any of you writes the articles in Programming Network, I can at least bet you that. So if you're asking, like, what is the value for me, Alex? Why would I write an article in Programming Network and not set up my own blog in 3 seconds? The only value right now, is it because you can write an article? No. Is it because you have a profile? No. It's the exposure. That's the whole function of Udemy, of these platforms like Medium and DevTO and what I'm building. The only really function is exposure. Other than that, it has zero value. You can set up your own blog now with Cloudflare Pages or Surge SH in 5 seconds. We all know that. But who the hell is going to find that blog? That is the question. Who the hell is going to find that blog, right? And also keep in mind that I also support RSS. So I haven't tested this functionality in a long time, but you can actually import your RSS feed here, and your articles And your articles are going to be exposed through Programmer Network, and then they will link to your website, right? So even if you have your own blog, you can still import your stuff here and then expose it through the Programmer Network. So the whole point of all of these platforms, really, when it comes to articles, we're only speaking about articles, is exposure, right? Because when you can have the most amazingly built performant blog on earth, who the hell is going to read that? You need to have so much content to get indexed to write, and that takes time. Writing a good technical article, let's face it, takes time, right? Shit, what was I was heading for the experience, right? Okay. I think I have this experience item thing, and literally, man. Whew, now I'm thinking if I go to the thought, if I go to profile again, give me 1 second. Okay, wait, maybe the music is a little bit too much for some of you, jokes aside now. So let's make sure that we put something. Okay, so if we go here again, I'm literally going to take the same thing over here, just adjust it slightly, and then we're going to see if there are any patterns to generalize this, to turn this into something that, because I do believe it's becoming a pattern, and if it becomes a pattern, then we should generalize it, not the vice versa, right? Because I can see that I'm using the same border and same kind of style of border all over the place, which just tells me that this potentially is a pattern, right? Yeah, like this, right? Now, of course, should this be hoverable? No, that is the exception. So we should get rid of the hover. But maybe we should not get the... Should it have a background or just a border? Do we know? Nice. I think I'm going to leave it there. The only question I have for myself, do I want to center it? Or do I want to keep it here? Or do I want to... keep it here? It looks better on the right. I think I'm with you. I think I'm with you, to be honest. I think I'm with you. I think you're absolutely right. I don't know, for some reason, I just think it just looks a little bit weird in the middle, right? It's very rare that you're going to see a UI like that, right? So I think I'm with you. I think I'm with you. Thank you for that. Just needed somebody to confirm. Let's keep it to the right for sure. I think that's awesome. Okay. Tiny modifications that came with time. The time was our best teacher, so let's just smack this to production as well. And let's make sure this looks good on mobile. I almost forgot, right? Yeah, maybe this is yeah. I mean, I don't think, yeah. No, I think that's... yeah, I'll need to play on it on my phone, but we'll see. And actually, you know what? I hate these warnings. I don't want to have any warnings or errors in this project. So, wait a minute. So first of all, what is the console? UI and so UX is the hardest thing in building products. So user experience. And then the UI is part of that experience as well. Not necessarily only. So I absolutely agree with you. If this project became something, absolute first person I would hire would be a designer, like instantly, no brainer. Because I can program things incredibly fast in nearly any language, but I spend so much time designing stuff. I don't think you suck at it, man. I don't think you suck at it. It's inherently hard thing, right? Because building multifunctional product that has a lot of different features that have to cohesively exist together and make sense to the user is an art that nearly nobody masters, right? Fully. Always get better at this skill, right? So I wouldn't say that you suck at all. I think it's a hard problem, right? I have a video of that, right? I have a YouTube video on that. I started making these small videos in my streams. Am I actually still streaming to YouTube? I hope I am. Yeah, I am. Okay. I'm still streaming on YouTube. I have a video on that somewhere. Where is it? How is it from between? Yeah, I think this is the video, yeah. I don't know if that's clickable. So in that video, basically, I just not to repeat myself, in that video, I spend a lot of time as a tech lead, as one of the core members at my company. I'm a huge part of this process of OKRs and stuff, and it's the most fun part of my job as well. Nothing really motivates me more than solving these problems, because inherently that's why when you look at companies like Apple didn't succeed because their software necessarily is top notch, even though their software is good because it only runs on a single hardware, right? They succeeded because they focused on the problem, the customer, and then walk backwards to technology. That's the famous speech where basically this guy who invented the Apple talks about, right? He's like, we need to focus on the customer and the problem and then walk backwards to technology, right? And that, I mean, it cannot be more true than that. And that's why companies who have such approach, they do well. It's because they don't focus on Reacts of the world, or Cs, Rusts, whatever. They focus on the actual problem, right? And that's a huge, huge difference. I'm just trying something out. Bear with me. Never mind. All right, so not to procrastinate in that one, I'll just leave it as it is because I cannot make it better right now. Just do that very quickly. Push that to production as well because I don't have a better idea. Cool. Okay, that's great. Oh, there was this bug that you reported, Leo, right? There was this bug in well, I don't think it's only in production. There was this bug where this number gets messed up, right? Gets strangely incremented. How did we get to that point? Wait a minute. No, I don't think I fixed it. No. Give me 1 second. My wife is calling. One moment. Yeah, let's see how did we get to that point. I remember, Leo. It's in a bugs channel on Discord, right? Give me 1 second. Bugs. Where is the bugs? Here. How do we reproduce this is the problem, right? How can we reproduce this? Wow, what happened here? Click on post. What do you mean? I don't know how to reproduce it. Can you? Yeah, try, because I would like to see if that's still broken. Yeah, so this is actually fixed. So this is, I'm gonna say this is I'm gonna how can we? Wasn't there like no, so yeah, so that's actually fixed. This, like, yeah, that I don't know. You have to try. I don't know what the chica is meaning here when he says this. And we should probably, a bunch of you have signed up this today. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. Let me just follow you all. That's great. First name, last name. Lovely. Kevin. Nice. Welcome, Kevin. Dirk. Welcome, Dirk. Nice. Building his own operating system. That's amazing, man. That's badass. Cool. Let me just do this. I managed to reproduce it again. Can you open your network tab when you do this, Leo, and see what's happening? Because I'm not sure what the hell is happening on your end. Also, let's okay, wait. You don't have to wait. Let me do one thing. So what I'm gonna do, I'm going to log in with another account locally. So I might have an idea. Let's fix that. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna open incognito. I'm gonna go to my local host, and I'm gonna log in with another account. Let me open my API. I believe in Faker. Let me open my API. Somewhere in my Faker, I had some some accounts. Yeah, Nora Siminta ideas. Yeah. So let's log in as idea maker. Yeah, there we go. Okay, cool. Wait, I'm gonna find some by, let's say, Nora. So this one that both of us will try to like with both of these accounts. Wait a minute, idea maker, idea, Jesus Christ, man. So I'm gonna like this one, and I'm gonna share it here locally, and I'm gonna like it as well. So now it says 2. Okay, so you can see this is an issue. Yeah, there is an issue, right? So if I dislike it, it says 0. -2. Okay, good, amazing. That's what we want, right? So let's fix it. I know where the problem is. It's somewhere in my Redux store, most likely. Okay, so let's go to store. Let's go to, what is this? Thoughts, I guess. I should know. This is not in the store, right? This is in the, that's a little bit weird. Mauser GP, I'm doing very well, man. About to round up. My wife and my kid are calling me. They want to go outside. I just want to kind of fix one thing here while I'm here. And this is not actually, yeah, that's shit, man. That's a bit weird. Ooh, is this maybe because, wait a minute. I might know. Give me 1 second. I might know. So this is basically somewhere in, yeah, I think I know. At least I can assume what it is. So I believe, yeah, so we have these reactions, right? And I think this is the problem. Thank you very much. How are you doing? How is it? What's you? Yeah, this is like Reddit style. Yeah, maybe it is. Yeah, I don't have Reddit, but I assume it is. Yes. Reactions count. So this could be the problem. Thought likes.length. Yeah, this measure here is the problem, right? So that's probably okay. Let's think about it logically. So wait. So let's reproduce this. Wait. So if I go to the incognito here and I like it, right? And then I go to this account and I also like it. It says 2, right? So now we have 2 likes. But once somebody dislikes, we have 0. Jesus, man, that's a weird behavior. But I'm sure it's this thing here, reactions count, right? What if we make it, say this? Let's see now what's happening. So what happened now? Did we both dislike? So now we both disliked. If I like it, yeah, shit, man, no? Yeah, so this is a regression, I'm sure, because yeah. So wait a minute, let's, I'm sure we're gonna fix it because we, I moved this to a core component library that we built, right? So let's print these 2 guys when these things are happening so we can kind of see what the hell is going on, right? Okay, so let's see here. It says now that there's 1 like and 1 dislike, right? So technically this is correct. It should say 0 because that's how I at least do it now. I'm only showing a single number. If I go ahead here and I like it, now it's saying there's 2 likes and 0 dislikes, right? Also correct. But if I go here now again and I dislike, I was talking to my wife. I was talking to my wife. That's why I muted it. Wait, we need to figure out what the actual issue is. I need to be. So now we have 2 likes. But as soon as I dislike, this becomes 1 minus 1, right? Which is okay, so this is not really, yeah, this is problematic a little bit now, right? Because technically this is not a bug. This is a behavior that's implemented, right? It makes sense. Think about it this way. Look, if I have 2 likes, it's gonna show 2. If I have 1 like and 1 dislike, right? 1 minus 1 is 0, right? So that makes sense. Because the way that we're evaluating this is we're saying likes minus dislikes, right? This is what we do. So that's why it switches from 2 to 0. Because, again, I liked here and I disliked here. So that's 1 like and 1 dislike, right? But if I now like, now it's 2 likes. So we either only show the likes and not dislikes, right? You get what I mean? So I think the way to solve this from the UX perspective is to simply find this little, it's super weird. I mean, 100%. So instead of that, right, we should just show the likes, right? So now there's 2 likes. If I dislike, we are showing 1 like, right? So we're not subtracting anything. We're just showing who liked it, not who disliked it, right? Which then begs the question, what is the function of a dislike button? Maybe we can, in the dashboard, or maybe we can just show this to the user. Maybe we can show that to the user to know, hey man, the stuff you're writing is stupid, right? It's just what is the function of a dislike, right? No, so right now we subtract likes and dislikes. So right now what's shown in production is likes minus dislikes. So if 1 user likes and 1 user dislikes, it's going to show number 0, right? So that is because of the nature how I implemented it, right? So it subtracts dislikes from likes, right? So it's a combination of the 2, right? So 1 dislike decreases the amount of likes, right? Well, no, but this, you see, this is the, it's a great discussion. This is the problem of UX, what the user would expect. Because here, are we showing the number of reactions or number of likes? You get what I mean, right? But I don't know how, what does Reddit do? I don't know what Reddit does. So you can see, I mean, this is the beauty of UX and the hard part of it, right? You can see several of you have said the opposite thing, right? That's why it's so hard, right? So you can see one of you said, I would expect it to reduce it. We had it like that before. I just removed that, right? So we used to have 2 numbers and I just narrowed it down to a single number, right? Okay, well then H and L, then it works properly, right? Then that's how it works right now, right? So then you could say it already works properly because that's what's in production now, right? So this singular number in there shows the total of likes, yeah. Yeah, exactly, right? Because yeah, if you have 1 and then you have 2 and then you dislike, it's going to be 0. So you're, okay, well in that case we can just leave it. I guess in that case we can just leave it. We can just leave it now. Maybe put a tooltip over there or something, right? That indicates the state. Because right now maybe it's just confusing, right? It's like, what the hell is happening? I mean, maybe, right? That's the thing, right? Eisendor, right? Who knows, right? What there should be. There's no correct answer to this. That depends what it is that you want, right? When at one point in time, we both had likes and dislikes, and some people said, why do we have two numbers? So you can see the difficulty of this. There's no right or wrong. There's so many different ways you can do this, right? So that is the problem, right? All right, fellas, I think I'll have to leave you. My wife and kid are waiting for me. My wife and kid are waiting for me, so I need to leave. I will stream. I will stream again tomorrow. If you guys are around, of course. If you guys are around, please come by. Let's have fun. Let's build some stuff. And of course, please, if you have a second, sign up on the Programmer Network. It's so fun to build these things together. It's so fun to hear your feedback. I mean, keep in mind, this whole platform has been heavily influenced by exactly these discussions. And this is why I stream. It's so fun to hear. Like, you can see if you scroll 1 minute now above, you will see the support of our UX claims. UX is so hard because several of you have agreed with what I did. Several of you said, oh, that makes no sense. Several of you said this and that, right? So it's really so, it's so personal, right? It just shows how hard it can be to do that thing that makes sense to the most people out there. And that's why Kasul on YouTube is to some degree right. Probably the safest way to solve these problems is to implement it based on some existing popular platform of some behavior that people are used to, right? So probably if we mimic the behavior of Reddit, that maybe would be the clearest because people are maybe used to that platform, right? And that's why many products out there, they copy paste the functionality, not because they're lazy, it's because they want to make sure that they can cover as large group of people possible, you know, who will understand the functionality. But anyway, Leo and everybody else and new people, HNL and FairXZ and all of you guys, thank you very much for being here. It's a pleasure to hang out with you guys, and holy luck, you too as well, man. Thank you everybody for spending your time here. I know you can spend your time in a million other places. So thanks a lot. I hope you learned something. I hope you had fun, and I will see you guys tomorrow, okay? Take care. Have a good Saturday, and yeah, I'll see you soon. Peace out, everybody.